Hey, I've got an idea. It's a big idea. And you are probably full of big ideas too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking about starting a podcast. But those big ideas are rarely enough to create a good podcast. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, how to take your big idea and create better content. Let's get into it.
This is the place for podcasters.
Let me take a moment, catch my breath. Now let's get to it. Hey, it's good to be back with you. My name's Brian. If you are new here, this is Summit City Studios, and it's the place for podcasters. If you're looking to start a podcast or improve the one you have, you're in the right place. For the last 2 weeks, I've been in a high school classroom teaching podcasting to television and radio broadcast students, and it's been a phenomenal experience. But one of the exercises we did in that class to help them think through how to create better content was something that I thought is valuable enough to share with you here on this channel. So I want to walk through an exercise that helped them create their first 10 podcast episodes, and it's going to help you, I believe, create your first 10 or your next 10 podcast episodes. And it all centers around the idea of taking our big ideas and filtering them down through a couple of questions to create better content. So the first question then is, what's the big idea? What is the idea? What's the thing that you want to communicate? What is your topic? I've done another video. I'll link right here, actually, if you want to go watch that now, about how to choose a podcast topic. There's, I think, a couple videos that I've done linked to that. I'm not talking about how to pick that topic. You already have that topic. Maybe you've already filtered it through some of those other questions, and you have the topic, you have the idea. But what do you do with it? The next question you have to ask yourself then is, who am I talking to? Who's my target audience? Who is that person sitting in front of me across the table, if they were there, that I would be having this conversation with? You see, for me, my big idea is podcasting. I want to talk podcasting with people, right? But people is not enough. People who are interested in podcasting, not even enough. If I were to talk podcasting with veteran podcasters, people who have been doing it for a long time, there would be certain things I would talk about. But I really want to invest in new podcasters, people who are just getting started, and I want to help you develop your content, create your podcast, and grow your audience. So I take my big idea and I filter it through that second question that is, who am I talking to? You see, I could take that same content and I could go all sorts of different directions depending upon how I answered that second question. So it's a very important question for you to ask. What's your big idea? And who is your audience? So the third question, once you have your idea and you know who you're talking to, the third question is, how will this help them? How will this episode, how can I craft this content to answer a question, to arm them with information, to help them make a decision? What is it that you're trying to help them do? You see, let's go back to the beginning. Our big ideas often start with us. Our big ideas are things that we get really excited about. But when we fixate on that big idea and we don't filter it through a couple of questions that I've shared in this episode, our podcast tends to be about us and our big ideas and what we have to say to anybody who will listen. And rarely will a podcast be successful when it becomes all about you as the host or me as the host. Our podcast has to be about our audience and how we're helping them accomplish something, make a decision, or give them more information about the thing that they're interested in learning about. So now that you know how to take your big idea and create better podcast content, I'm going to link a couple more videos here at the end that might help you refine that process. Check those out, and I'll see you in the next video.